Good evening, sports fans. We are This Fan's View, and tonight you're stuck with the three amigos. That's all you got. You're stuck with us, and there's a damn thing you can do about it. So we got Mario down in 900 degrees Sarasota, Florida.
Yeah, baby.
Is it really that hot?
So when I woke up today, it was 79. It's now 85 with about 105% humidity.
There you go.
So
there you go.
I'm enjoying it.
You got John and myself here at the we're on remote here at the card store. So we got to pound through the first half hour rather quickly because we've got a special guest coming on board with us at in and around the 7 o'clock hour. But I'm going to throw it over to John so we can get started.
We may or may not have a friendship too when we come back. Maybe you may friend me finally on Facebook.
No,
you can ask him on
I'll put him on the spot.
Facebook Live. There you go.
We'll put him on the spot.
That could absolutely go the other way, John.
Yeah. What can happen? Look
what are you paying? I'll get it done.
I mean, the better half, Jeannie's my friend. So
that's the better half is always the best.
So I mean, it's
right.
There you go.
There you go.
So for the who wore it best, we had a first this week. Lane Johnson was our first unanimous winner, taking 65.
Wow!
So congratulations to Lane Johnson there, well deserved. And then of course Bill Berge was the winner for 66. Beating out Mario Lemieux. So both well-deserved winners there.
Was that close?
It was like 4-1, so it wasn't too close.
Okay, I'll take it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we're going to go on a little bit of an Eagles run here pretty soon for taking over.
I actually think Bill Berge would be rather impressed knowing that he beat out Mario Lemieux. I really do.
Yeah. Yep.
But it is a Philly show.
It is a Philly. It is.
Very true.
Who the hell voted for Mario Lemieux?
Not me.
Anthony probably got his family to. that's who did it. Anthony and his family.
That's right. They're not around tonight, so we can take shots.
Yeah, he staffed the ballots right there. He came up with the different names. So tonight we got number 67 for the Phillies, Jose Pirela. He played 17. He had 17 at bats with the Phillies, 4 hits, 1 home run, 1 double, 2 RBIs, 2 walks, and he played first base, second base, and left field. We might be able to use him right now.
We can use anybody right now.
We can throw him out in center field, but we'll take that 235 average right now.
You still have your glove?
I do. I could be playing too.
I think they got tryouts on Friday.
I'll be there.
I don't know. You got to be able to run, John.
Oh, I know. That's the problem. Mentally, my head's able to do it.
I'm right there with you.
And for the Eagles, we have Jamal Jackson. He played from 2003 to 2011. He was an undrafted free agent with the Eagles. He was the NFC champion for the 2014 with the Eagles. He is also the 2006 Sports Illustrated All-Pro.
Was he on the Super Bowl team that went? He was, right?
With McNabb.
Yeah. Okay.
I think McNabb got a little bit of.
All right, Jamal Jackson. He was the center, right? He was the center.
Yeah, that's who.
We got a little theme going tonight.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's who.
Okay.
McNabb threw up on.
Oh.
So, and then for the last minute thing, we had a little bit of a correction. For the Flyers, we have Kirill Yastrzemski. I got it close. That was better. Much better, but it was still
much better.
Screwed up a little bit. The 22-year-old goalie from Belarus. We're still waiting for him to play a game, but he helped us out in spring.
He wore the sweater.
He wore it.
He wore the sweater.
And we know our Flyers fans will be correcting us if we didn't mention them.
That's right. We can't say we didn't have one when we had one.
Exactly. And then we have an oddball here for in different sorts for the outsider, Bob Kuchenberg. He was a 2-time Super Bowl champion, a 6-time Pro Bowler, 2-time first-team All-Pro, a member of the Dolphins Ring of Honor. He was a guard. He was originally an Eagles draft pick, ironically, and he never played. He retired before he played his first game with the Eagles as a rookie. He went to go play with the Chicago Owls of the Continental Football League. So those are our choices for 67. Mario, who do you have?
I'm going with Jackson.
There you go. Solid choice. Solid
It
choice.
was pretty much. I mean, I do remember Jose, but I'm going with Jackson.
All right.
And since it was the one he was the one that McNabb threw up on, I guess he did wear it best.
He definitely wore it. So who do you got, Carl?
Based on that, I'm going to go with Jamal Jackson.
We got a clean sweep then for
All right.
for 67 with Jackson. So this will be a little interesting one. 68. We got for the Eagles. We have Dennis Harrison, played from 78 to 84. He was the NFC 80 NFC champion, Pro Bowler in 1982. He was the 4th round pick, 92nd overall of the Eagles. For the Flyers, we have Jaromir Jagr. He played 73 games here with the Flyers, 19 goals, 35 assists, a +5 overall. And for the outsider, Will Shields. He was a 12-time Pro Bowler, 3-time first-team All-Pro, Walter Payton Award winner, Man of the Year for 2003. Remember the Chiefs Hall of Fame and the NFL Hall of Fame as well.
Nice.
So not as many choices here for this one, but Mary, who do you have?
Makes it easy. Going Yager.
You're going Yager?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I'm following Mario.
You're following Mary? All right.
I was a big fan, just the fact that he came here to Philly. You know,
Right.
coming back, you know, when he came back, he didn't re-sign with Pittsburgh.
Right.
You know, when he came here to Philly, you know, we got a lot of guys at the end of their career. Why should that be any different? But I think he made, you know, a lot of the young guys, Giroux, Scott Hartnell, you know, he made a lot of guys and, you know, they made a run, you know, they just, you know, it was a little crazy back then, you know, goaltending wise and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But Yager was, you know what, Yager was that big name.
True.
He's still playing today.
Yeah.
Still playing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'll go Yarmir.
All right. Just to be different, I'm going Harrison.
We knew it was coming.
Yeah.
We knew it was coming.
He brought us the NFC Championship. You know, plus the Penguins thing. You know, if Anthony was here, we'd have a little. But yeah, Yager's probably the better all around. But most of his time.
So
being
it's
great was
it's the Pittsburgh thing.
Well, yeah, because most of his time being great was out in Pittsburgh.
No doubt.
You know, I mean,
No doubt. How many cups did he win?
Uh-oh.
Won a few cups out there.
What's wrong?
Somebody's telling us I think Joe's telling us we're frozen.
Uh-oh. Frozen in time?
I have no idea.
I was wondering why there was no comments.
Let me see. Yeah. No, it's not frozen. I'm
We would
watching
have heard it from Sue if we were frozen. Joe might have a reference here with the frozen part.
That's
Not
true.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe might have a reference.
No, he said no. He said he's back.
All right. Pay the cable bill, Joe.
Exactly.
Pay the cable bill.
There we go.
Good here.
All right, now we're starting.
good.
Now we're starting to
good.
see everybody.
Joe Stinger starting bad rumors.
Right.
Starting bad rumors. I get nervous when that starts to happen.
Absolutely.
But you have also an announcement to make. We had a winner on the Bill Berge helmet.
Yes, we did for the Eagles draft pick, Mike
Nice.
Picola. was the winner. He was the only one actually to make the comment that Devontae Smith was going to be the Eagles draft pick. So congratulations to Nick McCullough. Contact the store here at Carl's Cards, and and we'll get it out since he was gracious enough to sponsor it for us.
So I have a little interesting story about that. Friend of mine's father, who has since passed between making this comment and the draft, actually picked made that pick.
Okay.
So I thought that was a little interesting that because he passed like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and he made that comment before he died.
Wow.
How about that?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's huge fan of the pick. Thanks, guys. So Mike's on board.
Yep.
So he,
He watches a lot.
yeah, there you go. But we've got Bernie Perrant joining us in a little bit, and we'll do the same type of deal. We'll give away an autographed puck.
There you go.
We'll give away an autographed puck. I don't know.
Only the Lord saves more.
Only the Lord saves more. What, an autographed puck? Nice. Okay.
There you go.
All right. We'll figure it out. Maybe we'll do a random thing based on questions or something.
Yeah.
But we'll figure it out. Somebody will get an autographed puck. Yeah. So stick with us. We've got Bernie coming up shortly. But we have any business to take care of? I guess June 16th, we're heading out on the road.
On the road to Dagwoods with Greg Lazinski.
Yep.
So yeah, I was just down there talking to Ed today. So they're all excited. They got the banners and everything up around the bar.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Good.
Wow, that's cool.
Yep.
And they're also signing up for July and August as
July and
well.
August. Yep. That was the other news. July and August we'll be able to be back as well.
Very cool.
We're in there summertime, so that'll be good. And then going from there, into September and October as well. So we will be there continuously once a month, so everybody can book the calendars and get ready for a party. The end of the month, the bars are opened up, so
Yep.
make sure you get there because as you saw and read in yesterday, everybody flocks out when it's when the doors are open. So
Very cool.
Yeah.
So we thank Nikki and Ed out there. They're the owners at Dagwoods, and we're finishing up our deal with Philip at State Farm
Right.
in the Northeast as well. So we're going to put some contests together. We're going to have T-shirts to hand out. We'll do our normal raffle prizes, so on and so forth. So it's a lot of fun.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
We were out Friday night, John and I, and our friend Shawnee. We were out at Buffalo Wild Wings in Glen Mills. We're trying to get them on board with us, and we kind of did a little spot talking about the Eagles draft. It was live. They were live. We were live. So they're a good spot.
Right.
They're a good spot. We got a good location picked out, so we're hoping fingers crossed that we can do something there at Buffalo Wild Wings in Glen Mills,
Mm-hmm.
right out there on Route 1. We got a lot of people come from that way.
Right.
They
Right.
come from Delaware, and they're out in southern Delaware County, so it'd be another good spot for us.
Exactly.
So we're pretty excited about that. But moving along, Sixers first place.
First place. All you gotta do is go 5-2, and they clinched their first spot.
There you go.
Nice.
The rest of the 7 games. So, and their schedule's looking like it's going to pan out that way. And I mean, they're taking care of business. I mean, this West Coast trip this 3-game trip that they went on.
Yep.
Wasn't scheduled the best way for logistical purposes, bouncing all over the place.
Right.
And, for them just to put their heads down and just beat up on teams.
Well, they got a soft one tonight with the Spurs,
The Rockets.
but the Rockets rather.
Yeah.
The Houston Rockets. They got to be careful because those are the ones that come gunning for you.
Right.
So.
So how do you see them doing in the playoffs?
I like them. I like them in the playoffs. You just see their team, when they're healthy and
Right.
they got their starting team together. There's not many teams that are going to compete with them, and that even considers for the West Coast teams as well.
Okay.
When it gets to the championship, because those teams, just like locking up that number 1 seed, we're only going to have to go through the Bucks or the Nets to get to the championship, where they're going to have to beat each other up to get to play us.
Right.
In the thing, the West Coast teams, they're going to get the same issues. They're going to beat each other up out there, and hopefully those games go 6 or 7 games, and then the Sixers might have a 6 or 7 game series themselves against the Nets or the Bucks. But
So you thinking they go all the way?
I do. I can see it happening. Yeah, I could definitely see it happening.
Very cool.
Yeah, obviously you got to stay healthy, and it's a long run, but I do see a nice run out of this team. I think they're focused.
Nice.
Well, yeah, I think the coach
that too.
definitely has them focused. He's pushing all the right buttons. The key here is keeping Ben Simmons healthy, keeping Embiid healthy. I think Tobias Harris can play through just about anything. He's proven that. But I think the big component here is the fact that I'm not going to say you don't lose anything when you bring Howard into the game, because he brings a different element.
He brings energy.
You know what I mean? He just, that second team is just so they're inspired.
Mm-hmm.
They're ready to like, look, we're just not the second team.
Right.
They've been fun.
Mm-hmm.
They've been a fun team to watch.
Right.
And thank God we have them, because there's not much else going on in Philly right now.
That's
so,
true.
It's been a struggle. So, I appreciate you bringing me on board as a Sixer fan this year, because I had to do some homework.
Wow, hey,
I haven't been a Sixer fan since the Doc days of Julius Erving.
It's only elite years though. There was
They had a lot of lean years.
They've been at the top of the pack for pretty much the entire season, haven't they?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, they've pretty much gone. I think there's only a couple of games that they've been out. Days that they've been out of first place in the East, and not for not much more than a game or two out of first place. So they've been there all year long, and you can just see it. I mean, this West Coast trip, or whatever you want to call it, they would be a couple of games that we could lose. Potentially, in past years, and Doc just has them, focused, and the second team struggled a little bit and gave up some big leads that we had.
Right.
Those games could have looked a lot more impressive.
Yeah, but they were also playing against the other team's number 1, because they were trying to get back into games.
Exactly.
So there's let's go apples to apples, and
right.
And I don't mean to rush you through this, but we're getting close to 7:00, and I know you want to talk about the Birds draft. I know you weren't high on the number 1 pick because you thought they should have gone quarterback.
Well, there was a couple different things. I mean, I think he's going to be a good player, because
we're talking Devontae Smith.
Right. I hear a button there, John.
Well, it's the butt is only because this team's not right there. If he was the one piece, then it would be a lot better pick. But as they've shown with all the other picks, that they're not really drafting for this year, they're drafting for future years.
3 number 1s next year.
Well, they got the 3 number 1s next year. But you got Dickerson in the second round, who's got an injury liability, may not even play this year.
He's playing.
You think?
No, I'm saying health wise, he may not be playing.
He's going to be fine.
But,
he's going to play.
I mean, did the cartwheels at pro day and stuff. So I mean, hopefully
he's going to be able to play. He's going to be able to play. The liability is, can he stay healthy?
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the liability factor there. But the college game up front and the pro game's a little bit different.
Yeah,
you know
what
I mean?
Boy.
He's a big boy, and he's smart.
Right.
He's very smart, and I just like everything about him. I love the pick. I just absolutely love the pick. I just think he can play across the front, and barring any more injuries, he's your replacement for Jason Kelce.
Right. Which as we saw today with Jamal Jackson, Eagles had a nice run from Jamal Jackson to
Right.
Kelsey,
Yep.
and then hopefully into Dickerson here
Yep.
to
Yep.
at center to really solid. Make that offensive line solid.
Yep. I'm on board. I love the picks. I love all of the picks actually. I think they, I don't see a reach. Do you have somebody that you would say is a reach?
I mean, it's hard. It's hard to.
Well, the number 3 pick.
The defensive tackle.
I mean, they needed somebody up front. You know what I mean? He's got a pretty good track record.
Yeah.
He should play because they
With
rotate
the
guys
rotation
and
stuff.
So I mean, do you agree? Howie, B-, B+, B. Where you at grade wise? What do you think? I know you're not a big Howie fan, so this is.
I'm not, and I'm like a C.
You're like a C. You're just not ready to turn the keys over to Howie.
No.
So.
No, exactly. But yeah, I don't know. I think
I like the picks. I do. They picked up a running back, that's going to be able to be on special teams. It's going to be able to help out.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's got a nice name, Gainwell.
Yep, and he's a cousin of Fletcher Cox.
Fletcher Cox is good. Yeah.
So, So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to these picks. I think there was a different strategy this year.
A little bit, but then that's my only concern with the third round pick because they wanted to get a corner, and then that's why you saw that the little tough.
Here's a little thought process for you. Teams are going to be releasing some veterans.
True.
Coming up June 1st, I believe.
So yeah,
I think they could be looking at a veteran name, that they could possibly pick up to fill a hole for a year.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's all you need.
Right.
That's all you need. Right. So let's we'll give Howie the benefit of the doubt, and if it blows up again, we'll say, "See, I told you so."
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing with the draft. I mean, really after you get to past the third round,
right?
Do we really know who these guys can do?
Exactly.
I mean, we can say yes, we should have taken this guy, we should have taken that guy.
But these kids, they're coming from some pretty good schools.
That's
some pretty good schools. They got nice track record. They've been consensus All-Americans, and
right.
They're still a 3, a 4, a 5. But I think they did nice work. I really do. I think they did good work. I think they drafted well this year. I'm really excited to see, how this offense gels.
Right.
You got, you now have Yeager, Jalen Yeager and Smith on opposite sides, right?
And then Fulgham as a third, the other side.
You got Fulgham, maybe this JJ guy gets his act together.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? So,
we'll see.
you got some depth there now all of a sudden, right?
But let's hope.
Yep.
That's
all we can do is hope.
Right. And like until you find out until you get them on the field.
I'm talking you in off the ledge. I'm bringing you back. Bringing you back.
That's the only thing that's a positive out of that. Both of them were from Alabama, so they played both. The top 2 guys.
Right.
The third round pick. Whether he's good. I mean, I think we may have passed up on a corner that we could have had. Traded back with was it Carolina, I believe we traded back with in the third round. That the Giants was able to steal. So we'll see if that hurts us. But no, like I said, I mean, it's guys coming from, college teams that are basically pro football teams, so, and that have had a lot of competition playing against. It's not like
absolutely
they're reaching out of schools for smaller schools. So that part at least is good.
So John, with their current lineup, where do you see them ending this year?
I still think they're only about a 6-win team.
Really?
Right.
You're not even going 500.
No. Well, 8, 9, 9, and 8. I mean,
well, you're talking a 6-win team. You're talking a 6-10 record.
Well, 6-11 this
6
year.
and 11 this year. Can't miss that extra game.
Oh,
We
okay.
get the Jets. That's why I went to 6 because we got the Jets last week. It wasn't-
Otherwise, it would have been 5.
right. It was a 5-win before that.
He's still on the ledge, folks.
Yeah. The other thing too is you have an entire coaching staff that's all
Correct. You're right.
rookie coaches.
You're 100% right.
It doesn't mean that 2 years from now that they're not going to be a good team. It's just they're going to have some growing pains. Just coaching staff is not doing their
The
thing.
key to this, though, is the defense is still strong.
Right.
Pretty strong.
But if you
Pretty
don't
strong.
score, you don't make touchdowns, you don't make extra points and field goals, you're not winning, no matter how good your defense is.
I got you.
And plus it's you also got to see Jalen Hurts take that next step too.
Sure.
That's
Only played 4 games, right?
I know.
Right.
And
Right.
Only played 4.
they were okay games, as well. So I mean, it's Terry Bradshaw didn't think he was a franchise quarterback.
So, all right. So he's going to start the season out as a starter. How do you think he does the first game?
Who they play the first game?
I don't know if the schedule's out completely yet.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's out, but we just don't know the order.
the
right?
order of how you're playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Let's see. See if I can find it.
Usually it's like Washington. It's a divisional game usually that they've been playing Washington the past couple of weeks or years.
Right.
I mean, I think they'll be okay. It's just because they could be like a Chip Kelly thing where nobody knows what their offense looks like, to start off. So you might get a little surprised that you can steal a game that you may or may not have normally have won,
Right.
just because nobody knows any film yet on your team, because obviously you're not going to show much in preseason as far as your team
Right.
plans. So we'll see next time. I mean, it's.
I hate to cut you short, but let's jump over to the Phillies because they're on fire.
Yeah.
They're on fire.
2 in a row now?
Well, I don't know if I'd go that far. They're doing good.
Well, they're 15-15. They won 2
Right.
2 in a row now. So
Better than they have been doing.
if you're going by my logic, they won one 10-game series. They lost one 10-game series, and they tied the other one. But I consider a tie a win because that's the way the 5-5. As long as you go 5-5, it's a win.
Right.
Football season. So they're 2-1 in the Eagles football season right now. So it's bad or good, and that's with a lot of injuries, a lot of
I'm going day to day.
Yeah, that's the only way you can
they're
do
on life support,
Well,
and they could be a ventilator, team just about at any time.
they lost two more players today.
Yeah, I mean
So-
it's just
Wait, who did they lose now?
Joyce and Quinn.
Yeah, Matt Joyce and Roman Quinn.
Well,
on
Roman
the-
Quinn was from last night with his hand.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, nine
That
stitches.
Yeah, that looks painful.
9 stitches. So that's going to take a little time to heal.
And then what? Joyce was a calf
Calf muscle.
Right.
So,
Now is Harper back tonight? Because they think
No.
he's
no,
still not back,
no Harper.
and that's his wrist that he's out for, not his face.
Well, that's what they're using as the injury. So I mean, it could be his injury. It could be also possible concussion type of stuff maybe as well.
See, that was my thought too.
But I mean, his injury that is on the books is his wrist. So.
All right.
So we got a smart ass comment coming in, that somebody hopes the lineup card is correct tonight.
Well, at least 2 of the 3 lineups were right. I just don't get that. That to me is
So
bizarre.
who screws that up?
well, it comes from up above,
Right.
Rob Thompson, and Sam Full, I guess, the guys that are putting in the rosters or the moves. It seemed like it was a late minute move last night around 4:00 that they made the move to begin with.
Okay.
And
They just forgot to tell the manager.
right, I mean they
God.
had it on Girardi's lineup that De Los Santos was in there. They had it on the Brewers lineup that De Los Santos was in. They just didn't put it on the umpires roster. So Yeah, that's a little confusing, especially since none of them, they're all computer generated, so I don't understand.
The thing that has me confused, and Ruben Amaro talked about it a little bit last night. That they have people in place that double and triple check this kind of thing.
Well, I guess they need somebody to quadruple check it.
Yeah, I guess. I guess it's bizarre, but you know what? The bottom line is they still won the game,
Mhm.
Right.
Two in a row over a very strong Brewers team.
Right.
Well, I think they're in first, aren't they?
They're up there.
I mean, they had a better record than us, I believe.
They
At one
do.
point.
They still do right at the moment. Yeah, I mean, we're going to face their two tough pitchers tonight and tomorrow with Peralta tonight and Woodruff tomorrow.
No Yelich. He's back.
No Yelich
He's
is
back. He's back on the
IL.
injury list.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's their big guy.
And we also
Big
missed
gun.
Corbin, their other big pitcher this year.
Right.
So
Yeah.
so we were able to.
But that's, they gutted out 2 wins.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? You got, you're looking, I'm not looking to lose games, but the worst you come away with this is a split now.
Right.
In hopes that, you grab 1 today or tomorrow and you win 3 out of 4.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Who's starting? Anderson?
You take,
Anderson tonight, and then Wheeler tomorrow.
a day at a time, right?
Sure.
Day at a time. One
That's
at
really
time.
all you can do.
Exactly.
It's a grind right now because they just went through a COVID thing with some players, coaches. That was just last week. Now you've got more serious injuries, but you're going to get Segura back.
Yes,
Hopefully in the next day or 2. So if you can and you get Harper healthy.
Right.
You're
So-
gonna.
So what happens when Segura comes back? You send Maton back down, or you leave him up?
I guess.
Yeah, that was going to be a little bit interesting.
Gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Going to be interesting.
So we got our star coming here. He's got his glasses on and everything.
So, without further ado, I want to jump right in because my man promised me he was going to be right on time, and here he is. There he
There it
is.
is.
How about this, eh? I just had some work done on my eyes, so that's why I'm wearing the glasses.
Oh no!
Oh, okay.
Everything all right?
All right.
Oh yeah, they just repositioned my eyelids so I can see. No, nothing serious. Everything's good.
Good.
Yeah.
Can you play goalie? Can you get in there and still play?
Don't start. No.
I'm digging right in, Bernie. I'm hurting.
Well, it hasn't been a good year, but you know what? Sometimes you got to take a step backwards to move forward. Yeah.
Okay. I like
Yeah.
the philosophy, but welcome to the show. I mean, it's been a while since we've had you on, and how are you doing? Other than the eyes, everything good?
You said it's been a while. Last time I talked to you, I
Uh-oh.
was 76. Now we got just kidding. Life is good. Life is good. We're working out, getting in shape. We're looking forward. Like I always share with people, you have to have a passion in life, and it's more fun. Life is more fun this way. If you don't have a passion, you go in circle and nothing happens,
Yeah.
So, but when you have a passion and you go through a tough times, then you could push that aside and refocus on your passion, and life feels good. So a lot of good things are happening. We're getting the boat ready to do some fishing this summer, and I got to get you guys out. Yeah.
There you go. There you go. We're all horrible fishermen, so take us to a hot spot. And
Well, a hot spot would be at the store. Maybe we'll buy some. Yeah.
I was going to say, can you just put the fish on the hook for me and then just throw it in there and make it look like I don't do well catching otherwise.
We can do a lot of stuff with video editing, John. So you're good.
So I guess the biggest question that I have, based on the rough season that the current Flyers team has gone through, how difficult is it to play in Philadelphia? That seems to be a big question nowadays.
Well, I don't think, for me anyway, it's not a problem. I think we have the greatest fans in the world in Philly. You step on the ice and you get pumped, with the crowd. Now you look at this season here, it didn't happen, because nobody could go and go watch a game. So people ask me the question about goaltending, of course, and with the Hart, what's going on. Here's a problem, guys. When you're playing well and you play, they didn't have much time to practice, by the way. You play 4 games in 5 nights. When you're playing well, it's fine because you use your day off, you relax, and then you're ready for the next game. But when things aren't going well, you need the ice time to come out of it. Because one thing you have to remember, you're in the National Hockey League. It's because you have talent. Okay. Now, if it's not going well, it's because your confidence. You're losing some of your confidence. And the only way to get this back is to get on the ice and practice. Well, if you don't have time to practice, that's very difficult. You can't do it watching the films. You have to go on the ice and communicate with your defenseman and make sure that you make the adjustments, and then everything gets back together. But when you don't have time to practice, it's very, very difficult to do it.
Yeah, that's a great point. Well explained. Because with the COVID, they went through that whole thing with, the players in protocol, and actually a couple players, were sent home basically.
Right.
So yeah, it's been a rough season, but the expectations were so high. You're close to the team. You can understand, what the fans are going through. But you're right. Where do you think things go this off season? Do you have any ideas, any thought process there where things might go?
Well, you know what? There's always doesn't matter where you're at. With the team, there's always room for improvement. Now, having said that, the I believe we have some good young players. We have some decent, great, leadership, and we have, and for me, I'm looking at goal. When we had the combination of Hart and Elliott, it was a great combination. And I'm not saying the other guys aren't playing well. They're good goalies, but we had a great combination. But I keep going back, for the fans. The fans are, they love the game, but also as a fan, you want to win. You love your team to perform and win games. And it's very, very frustrating when you get a season like we had this year, and with nobody, especially nobody in the stands. You know what? It's very, it's very, very difficult. So my approach would be careful not to make moves too quick, because we do have a lot of good players on that team, and I'm sure the kid with Hart, for an example, that had his problems this year. I had my problems, and when I remember when I went to Toronto and played 2 years with Charles Blount, the great goalie for Montreal, and I said, "Oh my Lord," spent 2 years with him, and I asked him one day. I said, "Can you help me?" And because my career was in and out, and I learned the secret, how to play the style that we played in those days. And quickly, I'm going to show this. If it was a left-hand shot coming down, your defenseman, or a right-hand shot, I always told the defenseman, play the man, okay? And then let me play the shot. So that would always put me in the right place at the right time to make the save. was
Sure.
very, very important. So communication is also very, very important between goalies and defense. Very.
So Bernie, we got a couple questions here from people watching. First question is: was Clark the best leader you ever played with?
I miss a question. Go ahead. Could you repeat that, please?
Was Bobby Clark the best leader that you ever played with?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You know, oh yeah, without any question. Bob was was a good leader on the ice, good worker, and a good leader off the ice. If you had some problems, Bob was always there to see if he could help in some ways, And the way he played, was he played hard all the time. Was always focused on the game, and it was that leadership. You watch a guy like this, and you see him in play, and then if we had a problem within the team or whatever, he would close the door, keep the coaches away from the dressing room,
Right.
and then discuss the problems that we had. And then once you communicate, and then the problems would go away and everything would be fine. So it was just an awesome, great leader. Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. Do you think they brought Hart up too early?
If I believe they what?
Do you think they brought Hart up too early?
No, I don't think so. No, he's he showed he's a National Hockey League goaltender. In my mind, that's how I see him, goalie. But what has to be shared with him, and it's very important. I shared this earlier that don't question your talent as a goaltender. Right. You're the National Hockey League. Just concentrate on getting your confidence back. And how you do this is you have to get on the ice with your defenseman and practice and practice and practice, and then it comes back.
Okay. So I have a question that's not hockey related. Somebody wants to know what your favorite cigar is.
Oh, wow. Hey, the free ones. So, and
I would have to agree with you on that one.
The story, yeah, sure.
That's
to me is especially down the shore. You have a nice day, smoke a cigar, sitting on the boat. It's a beautiful thing. That's awesome. It's a beautiful life. Yeah.
Is that the key to catching fish? I like smoke cigars. That's why I don't catch them.
At that point, you don't care about catching fish.
Yeah, it's a just you look at the ocean, guys. Quickly think about this: when you go out the inlet in the morning, and from the other side of the ocean, you're talking about 3,000 miles, away. So so it's a big body of water, and you see porpoises, you see whales, you see sharks, you see beautiful things.
Oh yeah,
it's awesome.
So Joe Stinger wants to know who your goalie coach was in Philadelphia.
In Philly was when I played with Philly was at the beginning, the first 2 years. That was my good buddy, good friend, Doug Favell and I, and then we once in a while we had Marcel Pelletier, who was a goalie himself, and would communicate with us a little bit. But what changed my career, which is a good point you brought up, what changed my career was when I went to Toronto, from the Flyers to Toronto, and then I spent 2 years with Jacques Plante, learning how to play goal, and it changed my whole career. And this is when you think about this is when the World Hockey League came in after my second year. And I believe in life, if you don't take risk, you'll live the same way. So you got to take risk in life, And the World Hockey League came in. They asked me if I would join them. I said, sure. Think about this, a quick story here. So I went to the World Hockey League, and I I didn't like, we're playing in front of 500 people or whatever. So halfway through, I came back with the National Hockey League. But the rule is you had to go back to your original team, which was Toronto. Then Toronto, the same day, I think, traded me back to Philly, and we ended up with the right team. We won 2 Stanley Cups. It's safe. I would have stayed in Toronto. Would have never been involved with the 2 Stanley Cups in Philly. So risk taking, calculated risk, but risk taking is very, very important in life.
Yeah,
for sure. For sure. Get back to the shore for a minute, and the water and the boat and down the shore. Do you have a favorite shore town? I know you've lived in a couple of different towns, but I know you're a big water guy. Is there an area that you like one better than the other?
Well, you know what? They're their own ways, And I live in Cape May, live in Wildwood. Today, we live in Avalon, and then it's nice. Like I keep the boat behind the house, which is it's a beautiful thing. So we it's all it's all about dreaming, and having a passion to do this. So when I just talking about it, I get pumped, So driving down the shore now, driving to Avalon, New Jersey house, and see the boat behind the house. Come on, doesn't get much better. Beautiful thing.
True.
That and a handful of free cigars.
Hey, how about a couple of boxes? Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mario, any more questions from
Yes,
our
we do. So somebody wants to know if you think AV will be back next year.
Who?
AV. Who's AV?
Elaine Vigneault.
The coach, the head coach. The head coach.
Who's AV?
The coach.
The head coach.
Oh, the coach.
Head coach.
Alain. Oh, yeah. You know what? He's going to be good. He's French, man. He's going to be good. It's good man. A good coach, and I think we have to hold back on judgment a little bit, and because it was a difficult year. But he has a good coach. I haven't had a chance to communicate with him, too much. But I like him. I like him. I like the. What I like about him is you go on the ice and you're lazy a little bit. That's maybe a best, or you don't work as hard as you should be working. Then you'll be upfront with him. With the player, you'll sit him on the bench. And so it's very demanding. He wants his players to go full force, to make it happen. But at the same time, he very protective of his players, and if there's a problem of the ice or whatever, he will always be there to help the players. Yeah.
Do you see a big difference in this is probably a two-part question, but the players that you played with back in during your career and the players today? What do you think the biggest
the players now?
Yeah.
Well, what I think it's not the players as much as the system. The rules of the game today. It's and I'm very fortunate that I played when I played, because the players were allowed to move players from the front of the net. And it would give you a better chance to see shots from the point and stuff like this. Well, in today's world, the rules now, you can't touch anybody in front of the net. So it becomes very difficult for a goalie. If somebody takes a shot from the blue line and you have 4 or 5 players standing in front of you, people have to understand that. My Lord, it's very, very difficult to pinpoint where the shot is going, especially if it's coming at 90 miles an hour. So I, you know what, I like the rules that we had in those days because the players would 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 move um, the opposite team, you know, and be physical with them, and that would I think, yeah, but and I you know. I think the fans enjoyed that a little bit, but more too, you know. So I hope and pray that hopefully this system will come around and play a little bit more like we used to in the old days and be a little bit more physical in front of the net. That would be great. Yeah. So
Don't you feel that some of the physical stuff is starting to get back in the game?
I'm sorry. You
Do you feel the physical part of the game is starting to come back?
well, I think so. I think so. I think they you know, you see some open ice. You know, you see and listen. Don't misunderstand me. The players are great players. They're great skaters, puck handling, and the whole thing. You know, they're awesome. But you know what? When you know you're going to get hit, then you become a different player a little bit. You know,
Right.
so along the board and in between the blue lines, I think you're starting to see a little bit more physical play, you know. But I think the big part is as I shared earlier, it's in front of the net, you know, and you know, and what's happening if you can't check anybody, you're going for the puck. I remember Joe Watson saying something, you know, when we played, it was always was telling a defenseman or his partner, when the guy's coming down with the puck, focus on his chest. Okay, focus the head, forget the handling the puck, just focus on his chest, so you would know which way the player would be going. But today they can't do this because they have to play the puck. Okay,
Right.
and if you have it, how many times you've seen a guy come down across the blue line on two defensemen, and he goes right through the two defensemen and goes along and you know score a goal on the goaltender, and that's because you're not allowed to take them in
Yep.
at that time,
That's
and
good,
I'm from the old days, but we'll never accept that. No.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. It's a real good point. You know, but the game is so fast today, so fast. You know, yet they have a split second to react. Good choice or bad choice. You know, somebody's going to get exposed, right? Somebody's going to make a bad choice. You're not always going to make good choices.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, this is why I think communication is so important.
Right.
You know, because as a goalie, for example, you see what's in front of you all the time. So the you know, if the puck goes in the corner or the players goes towards the boards, you know, inside the blue line, then you have a view of what's going on with the open ice on the between the circle, you know, and this is when I think it's what is very important. I don't know if it's happening because you know, I'm not at the game, but the communication about, you know, it seems to me because the game is so fast, everybody's focusing on the puck. Then there's something who's behind them or open in the slot, you know, and it's very difficult for an example. If I'm a goaltender and the guy's along the board with the puck, I can't really commit myself like if he's going to shoot because you know the way the game is played today, there's a lot of open guys in the slot today, you know, these days. So you have to stay back a little bit, and it becomes a guessing game instead of playing your system. You're guessing all the time.
So we have one last question before we start wrapping things up. Have you ever thought about coaching?
What's your next question? Now, No, you know what? You know what? If I be able to you know somehow to help the goalies once in a while, or if there's a situation where I could be helping the goalies, I'd be more than happy to not be happy to share what I'm thinking, what I'm saying here. And I think the bottom line, really, and I shared this quite a few times tonight. The bottom line is is I don't see it happening now. It's very important. It's communication between the goalies and the defense.
Right.
You know, and out loud. You know, have a good. You know, look behind you. Somebody's open or whatever. Have that good communication, and then you overcome the um, you know um, the opportunity for the opposite team to score goals. Very, very important. Yeah.
So have you ever been asked to coach?
I think in my previous life I did, but not lately. No. They, you know, because the game has changed.
Right.
And it's difficult now. Without has changed because the equipment. If I have a second here, let me share this with you, because the equipment is different today. The equipment the goalies are wearing today, if you look, you pay attention to the equipment, it's very stiff. It's not that they're bigger, but they may be a little bit longer, but they're very stiff. And what I'm saying by this is it's very difficult to turn your foot to make a save. So they don't have the luxury to do this, so they drop to their knees all the time.
Yep. You talk about that all the time.
Okay? Number one. So knees. Okay. Once you drop to your knees, then you can't move anymore, and then becomes a problem.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. You talk about that all the time, Bernie. Every time we have conversation, you bring that up.
Yeah. You know, it's it's a problem. It's a problem. And how do you fix this? I think you make the equipment more. What's the word I'm looking for? You could help me here.
Not as big. Not as big.
Well, and it's not the size as much as not as it's not so stiff, so you could have the luxury to move back and forth. You know?
Yeah, a little bit more mobile.
Yeah. Because there's difference quickly here. There's difference between blocking the shot when you drop to your knees or standing up and making a save. You have a better chance to redirect the rebound to your players. But when you drop to your knees, you're blocking it. And when you block something, a shot like this usually comes out in front.
Yeah. Yes. Yep. Very good. Very good. Hey, I see it on TV all the time, and I love the commercial to death that you did with the fans being back in the building with your rings.
Mm-hmm.
Can we end the show on that note? Can you give us a little bit of that?
Of course. Go ahead, shoot it.
No, you're going to do it.
Do you have your rings? Do you have your rings with you?
It's a beautiful thing. Just share with people. This is what it's all about. And then I show the rings, the Stanley Cup rings, and this is what it's all about. It's short but very powerful. It's a championship. It's been 46 years. It's been a long time.
Yep.
So it's time to bring we show the rings because it's time to get new Stanley Cup rings here in Philly, and I have a feeling it's going to happen soon. Even with that, we have some good people there, and I think they're going to rearrange things, and everything will work out well. Yeah.
Excellent. We thank you once again. Say hello to Jeannie. There she is.
There she is.
Hi, everybody.
How are you?
How you doing?
Yeah.
How are you?
How are-
See
Excellent.
what happens? See what happens when you talk back?
Yeah.
I love that jacket.
Thank you. You know what? The Broad Street Bullies have nothing with Mario.
Yep.
Oh, we hesitate? Yeah.
Yeah.
You're good.
It's all good. It's all good. Guys,
All
thank
right.
you so much. and
Thank.
we definitely got to get together.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's get together and do a little fishing. How's that? Okay.
There you go. I'll bring the cigars.
You got a deal. What are you doing tomorrow? All right, guys.
I'll be
Thanks
able to
for
do it tomorrow.
having us.
All right.
Oh, absolutely. Thanks for coming on with us. I appreciate it.
Sure.
Bye. Take care.
Anytime.
Thank
Take care. Thank
Hey,
you
guys.
you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right.
So,
Always
that was a
good.
one.
Excellent. Excellent.
Always good.
Excellent. Never
All right.
gets old. Never ever
so-
gets old.
Phillies are up 5-0. Didi hit a grand slam.
There you go.
Very cool.
Told you they were the hottest team in Philly.
That's right. This is cool.
There you go.
Oh God.
Great show.
Yep.
Thanks everybody for joining in. I hope you enjoyed Bernie, and the stories are priceless. It's just it never gets old. I know I'm partial towards them. I've been friends with them for 30 years, and one of these days I'm going to get out on that boat.
Yeah.
One of these days, I might have to bring down a whole bushel of cigars, and I'm going to get on that boat. So,
We'll have to drive it ourselves.
God.
all right. Until next week, gentlemen.
You got it.
Another one in the books.
Very good show.
Take care.
All right.
All right, Mario.
See you guys.